Hi, Alexa. 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 Hello, Amisha and Bhushan. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Amisha and Bhushan, could you put a message in the respective group so that people can be here and
Yes, sir. Yes.
begin with the
Yes,
session?
sir.
Please do that. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir. I have put the message.
Perfect. I hope you guys can see the presentation also, right? Which has been opened up.
Yes, sir.
You guys can see this, right? Perfect. So this session is going to be more in line with the preparation plan for arithmetic with respect to all the things that we have seen till now, and we'll see all the important content which we have got on the level of what arithmetic is, and we'll see all the important topics and content based on that. Let me open the right presentation. Can you see this revision workshop of arithmetic, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Uh, I don't think so. You guys are able to see this. Okay, this is the content. I hope the presentation is visible to all. Now here, as we know, arithmetic is going to comprise of topics like average, ratio proportion, percentage, profit loss, mixture allocation, then partnership, and then time field distance and time involved. But to be precise, the two most important chapters that you should work on specifically with respect to CAT 2021 examination. One is going to be percentage, and second is a topic which is on time, speed, and distance. I repeat, there are two topics that you have to look into. One is percentage, and second is time, speed, and distance, which you have to look into. Okay, okay. Let's before we start with the advanced level content. Let's see some of the basic questions which you have done before, and we'll see how it needs to be clear and done. I hope all of you are able to see the presentation which is being opened up. The first question is quite simple. It's not going to be that difficult. It says the speed of a boat is 15 km per hour. I repeat, it says the speed of a boat is 15 km per hour. The stream flows at a rate of 3 km per hour. While moving with the stream, that is downstream, the boat travels 90 km. Now going against the stream, how much distance will be covered by the boat in the same time? I repeat, the question is The speed of the boat is being given to you. This is a concept of relative speed, which is termed as upstream and downstream in time, speed, and distance. So while going along with the stream, the speed becomes u plus v because both of them are going in the same direction. While going against the stream, the effective speed will be u minus v because both of them are, the boat and the stream is going in the opposite direction. Okay, so what is required in the answer? It says going against the stream, how much distance will be covered at the same time? We know how do you get distance? Distance is nothing but speed into time. When you go in the opposite direction, obviously it's u minus v that we do, which is 15 minus 3. So the effective speed is going to be 12 kmph. But the answer depends on what is the time that is available with us. That can be answered by using the first statement. The speed of the boat is known to you, so u is known to you as 15 and v is known to you as 3 km per hour. When you go along with the stream, the effective speed will be u plus v, so it's going to be 18. So my speed is 18, right? My speed is 18. My distance is 90, right? So time availability is 90 upon 18, which is 18 5s are 90. So my effective time is 5 hours. And my answer will be 12 5s are 60 kilometer. Is this clear to you guys? Everyone? Why did we kept 5 to be as a constant r in both the cases? Why did we kept 5 to be a constant time in both the cases? Because time is going to be independent of the speed, right? So the available time which is there with the boat, when you go against the stream, if it is 5, then while coming also you will take 5 hours only, no? The only thing which is changing here is what? Is the distance, which is dependent on the speed. While going it's plus, while coming back it's going to be negative. Is there? I hope this is clear. It was a very simple question that we have solved. Let's see some good question now. Okay. I hope all of you can see slide number 2, question number 2. Please read this question. The question says a man initially invests 12,000 with a bank at 20% compound interest. I repeat, a man initially invests 12,000 with a bank at 20% compound interest for 5 years. After 5 years, he uses this money, which is principal plus the interest earned, to buy a car. To buy a car which depreciates at 10% per annum. Which depreciates at 10% per annum. If 2 years after buying the car, he sells the car. I repeat, if 2 years after buying the car, he sells the car for the amount he initially invested in the bank. For the amount he initially invested in the bank. How much did he invest initially? It was 12,000. Then by what percentage? The question is then by what percentage is the time at which he sold the car? I repeat, by what percentage is the price at which he sold the car greater than or less than the depreciated value? All of you understood the question? How would you like to solve this question now? A simple question on SI and CI, but how would you solve this question? Anyone out here? So let's do it in phases. The first phase says a man initially invested 12,000. So you're investing 12,000. That is going to be compounded at 20%. So it's the amount will be 1.20 raised to 5. This is the amount of what will be after 5 years. By using this money, he buys a car, right? This guy bought a car. Now the question is, what is the cost price of the car, or what is the amount of 12,000 and 20% interest for 5 years? Now you cannot multiply 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 1.205 times. It's going to be slightly more challenging, but you can use the application of successive percentage change. I repeat, all of you can use the application of successive percentage change on compound interest questions very easily. Successive percentage changes when two values changes or more than one time. If the percentage value is changing, it is given by a plus b plus a percentage of b. So I'm going to put 20, 20, 20, 20 and 25 times. Make a pair of the first two, next two, and leave the last aside. Why did I made a pair? Because the value of a and b, which can be defined, is defined only and only for two changes, which is 20 and 20. So 20 and 20 will become how much? So this will become 40 plus 20% of 20 will become 4. So 2 times on 20 on compounding will become 44. So 44 comes here and 44 comes here. And this 20 will be as it is. I hope all of you understood how did we get 44. Let me know yes or no. Now again, of making a pair of 44 and 44, you again do compounding. 44 plus 44 plus 44% of 44. 44 plus 44 is 88 and 44% of 44 would be 1956, which will be 19.56. Rounding off this value will become 20. So this will become 108 and this will be 20. Making the last pair, 108 and 20 will become 128 plus 20% of 108 will be roughly 22 because 10% will be 10.8. Double of it will be 21.6. So the overall value will become 150, which means 1.20 for 5 times is nothing but the same value into 150%. What is 150% more on 12,000? So 100% will be 12,000 more and 50% will be 6,000 more. If you add this, the overall value will become 30,000. If you add this, the overall value will become 30,000. Can we say 30,000 now is the price of the car? All of you tell me yes or no. I am saying 30,000 now is the price of the car, which depreciates at 90% and 90%. 10% depreciation will be 90% of the car. How much it would be now? So again, this time it's going to be minus 10 plus 10% of 10 on successive discounting of 10%. This will be minus 20 plus 1. Overall, the value will decrease by 19%. 19 is roughly 20. So this value will become 80% of its own. 80% of 30,000, the value will become 24,000. The value will become 24,000. Now 24,000 is what? Is the selling price of the car. I hope you got this. And this was the selling price of the car, but after 2 years, after buying the car, he sells the car at an amount which is equal to the amount invested in the bank. Amount invested in the bank is 12,000. So basically it is 12,000 upon 24,000, which is 1 by 2, which is 50%, which is 50%. Is this clear to everyone? So the question was as simple as what is 12,000 in terms of 24,000. Is this clear to all? Should I redo it? Any part of the question which has not been understood, please tell me. Any part of the question which has not been understood, please tell me. So it has been said by what percentage the price at which he sold a car is less than that of the depreciated value. The depreciated value was 24,000. but the car was sold for 12,000. So how much is 12 less than 24? It is 12. In terms of percentage, 12 upon 24 will be 1 by 2. So this value is roughly 50%. So you will mark the third option to be the answer. Is this clear to all of you? To everyone, is this clear now? Others, Bhushan, Amisha, Sakshi, is this clear? Okay. Please take the next question now. This question is basically from a topic of time and work. Take 30 seconds to read the question and then we'll take it live. It says machine A and B together produces 1680 components in 8 hours. I repeat, it's a question on time and work, which says machine A and B together produces 1680 components in 8 hours. Machine A produces one component in 0.66 minutes. And how many hours will both the machines finish the assignment of 1000 components? Finish up the assignment of 1000 components, given that machine A works first and both the machines work alternatively, each time one machine for 1 hour. So when they work together, they produce 1680 components in 8 hours. Machine A produces the first component in 0.66 minutes. In which hour will both the machines finish the assignment of 1000 components? Given that machine A works first and both the machines work alternatively. Okay, how shall we do this question? Let's see, it says when A and B are working together. When A and B are working together, it is taking 1680 components. They are making 1680 components in 8 hours. So early in 1 hour, they are making 110 components. I repeat, in 1 hour, they are making 110 components. We can equate this to be as 210 components in 1 hour. Now, if they are making 210 components in 1 hour, but this was the time when they were working together. It has been told to us now they are working separately, each working for 1 hour and the second person coming for the second hour. So ideally, if instead of both of them, I repeat, instead of both of them working together, if each one of them work alternatively, then 1 hour of work will be done in 2 hours. 1 hour A and second hour B, but the total number of production will be 210 components only, but this will take 2 hours. So ideally, if they are working alternatively, 210 components will be produced in 2 hours, right? We want 1000 components to be produced. It has also been told machine A produces one component in 0.66 minutes. Machine A produces one component in 0.66 minutes. So how much will be produced in 60 minutes? This will be 60 upon 0.66, which is 60 upon 2 by 3, which is 90. So A can produce 90 components in 1 hour. That's what we know. A can produce 90 components in 1 hour is what we know, right? Now in the first 2 hours, 210 components will be produced. In the first 4 hours, possibly 420 components are produced. 6 hours, 2 then more components. 8 hours plus 210 more components will be produced, right? If this is known to us, can we say In 8 hours, roughly 210 into 4, 840 components are produced. Can we say in 8 hours, all of you? Can we say in 8 hours, 840 components are produced? If all of you, I hope you understood this part, right? In 8 hours, 840 components are produced. In the 9th hour, who's coming? A is coming. A is making how much? 90 more components. If I add 90 to 840, the value will become 930. So 930 components are produced in 9 hours. In the 10th hour, who is coming? 10th hour, B is coming. So the remaining 70 components, can we say, will be done in the 10th hour when B is making? So overall, 8 hours has been taken, 9 hours, and in the 10th hour, the whole work will be completed. Can we say the answer for the given question is going to be 10 hours? All of you. All of you understood this? Everyone understood this? Sakshi, Bhushan, Amisha? If not, let me know. I'll redo it. Okay. If you want, I'll repeat it once again. Let's start from the scratch. It has been said A and B are working together, and working together they make 1680 components in 8 hours. Obviously, if they are making 1680 components in 1 hour in 8 hours, in 1 hour possibly they are making 210 components, right? In 1 hour working together, जितना कंट्रीब्यूशन ए ने डाल सकता था वो ए और बी ने 1 घंटे का मिला के 210 कंपोनेंट्स बनाए. पर इसने बोला है कि ए एंड बी आर वर्किंग ऑल्टरनेटिवली. If working together they take 1 hour, working alternatively they will take 2 hours to work and produce the same unit, which is 210 components. So 2 hours, so 2 घंटे में 210 होगा जब दोनों अलग अलग काम करें. So 2 4 6 8 का साइकिल अगर मैं पकड़ूं, so 4 times the components will be produced, which is 840. Is this clear, Bhushan? So I'm saying in 8 hours,
Yes, sir.
840 components have been made. In 9th hour, who is coming? A is coming. A is taking 1 minute to to make one component. It takes 0.66 minutes. So in 60 minutes, how many components will be made? So it's going to be 60 upon 2 by 3, which is 90. 840 plus 90 will become how much? 930. ये हो गया 9 hours का. So 10th hour में क्या होगा? 10th hour में खाली 70 बाकी है. और B कितना बना सकता है? 210 minus 90. That's what B can make. तो 70 तो पूरा बना ही सकता है 10th hour में. So I am saying it's going to take 10 hours to complete the assignment. Is this clear?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Yes,
it is
Bhushan.
given that machine A works first and then both works
Huh.
alternatively.
Hmm.
Then should we consider that first?
All the odd number of hours, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, A will come. All the even number of hours, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, B will come.
Okay, okay, got it.
As it is starting with A. Clear? Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, a simple question. It's a very simple question which I'm giving you on SP and CP. So please try to solve this question on your own. Everyone out here. Not a difficult question. This question. It says A sells an item to B. What is the question about? Read the question. Yes, how would you solve this question? Everyone, A sells an item to B at a profit of 25%. So A gives to B at a profit of 25%. That is being told to you. B sells the same to C. Same item to C. C buys for 3600. C buys for 3600 after suffering a loss of 10%. So B का जो भी cost price था, उसको इसने 90% पे बेचा. उसको इसने 90% पे बेचा. तब जाके 3600 का price आया C के लिए. And the question is find the cost price of A. Anyone who got the answer? Can we say 90% of B will be 3600, which is 9 upon 10 of B is 3600. So B का जो cost price है वो कितना होगा? वो होगा 40,000, right? अब B जब A ने B को बेचा तो 25% बढ़ा के बेचा. So 125% of A's cost price is 40,000. Is what we can say, right? 125% is nothing but 5 by 4 of A. 5 by 4 of A is how much? Is 40,000. I repeat, 5 by 4 of A is nothing but 40,000, right? Now 5 by 4 of A is 40,000. So A का cost price कितना था बताओ? Anyone? Anyone? The answer right? Amisha is right. The answer is how much? The answer is going to be 32,000. The answer, Bhushan, and both of you have given right, is 32,000. Perfect. Please take the next question. This is slightly an interesting question. It has come in the previous year CAT exam also. So read the question well and try to solve. This is not a calculation intensive question. It's a question which is going to require some IQ. That's it. Yes, anyone who got the answer? Bhushan, anyone who got the answer? It says Amol Food Processing Company. I repeat, Amol Food Processing Company received fresh consignment of cherries from Himachal Cherry Production Corporation containing X kgs of cherries. I repeat, containing X kgs of cherries. After analysis, these cherries were found to contain 99% of water. After 15 days, sample of cherries from the same lot. I repeat, after 15 days, sample of cherries from the same lot found to contain 98% of water. Found to contain 98% of water. What must be the weight of cherries at that time? So the cherries that we are talking about will have a dry mass and will also have water. I repeat, the cherries will have dry mass as well as will have water. Let's say if A kgs of cherries has come, of this 99% of weight is going to be taken by water. So roughly 0.01 A is the dry mass of the cherry. Will be the dry mass of the cherry. Now from this, from the same lot, after 15 days, it was found it contains 98% water. Now if 98 dry mass will be dry mass, so dry mass will be devoid of water, right? So the dry mass, which is 0.01 A, I repeat, the dry mass, which is 0.01 A, is going to constitute 2% of the total weight of the cherries. All of you got this? The dry mass of 0.01 A is going to constitute 2% of the overall weight because 98% is water, but the dry mass will not change. So 0.01 A is 2% of total weight. So total weight will be how much? Anyone? Weight will be how much? This will be A by 2. All of you understood this? Bhushan, Amisha? Amisha, what about you? Amisha is okay. So Amisha, you understood how did we get 0.01A? All of you understood, especially Amisha, you understood how did we get 0.01A? Now that is my dry mass, right? That is my dry mass. My water content kept on changing. Next time it has been said it contains 98%. It contains 98% of water. If 98% is water, very well we know it's going to take 2% of the dry mass. So I am saying the dry mass of 0.01A will be nothing but 2% of total weight at that time. So my total weight at that time will be of the equation 0.01A is 2% of total weight. Understood this, Amisha? Okay, perfect. Please solve this question for me. Now in this question, you do not need any technical support. All of you can solve this. Come on. Please try to solve this question. It's a very simple question of arithmetic. Amisha and Bhushan, you are able to solve this question? Amisha is unable to. Let's see if we can solve this question. Bhushan, you also not able to solve this question? Okay. There's a technical way. Let's see if you can make a quadratic equation out of this. The repetition on the right side is starting from this cycle. So this portion here onwards will be x. This is what you can consider. So x will be 1 upon 2 plus 1 upon 4 plus x. This will what it would be, right? So x will be 1 upon, this will be, LCM would be 4 plus x. So 8 plus 2x plus 1. 8 plus 2x plus 1. So it is 2x, 8 plus 2x plus 1. It will be. So this will be 2x plus 9 divided by 4 plus x. So x will be what? 4 plus x divided by 2x plus 9. You can make a quadratic equation to solve the value of x by finding out the roots. That's one case. But this is not the best way of solving the question. I'll give you the best and the easiest way of solving the question. Okay. So let's see till this stage. If the question is 1 by 2. If the question was 1 by 2, the answer would have been 0.5. If the question would have been till here and not till here, then possibly the answer would have been how much? 1 divided by 2.25, which is 1 divided by 4 by 9 by 4, which is 4 by 9, roughly 0.44. So the value is decreasing from 0.5 to 0.4. Obviously, whenever the denominator is going to increase, the value will fall. So answer is going to be close to 0.5, but less than 0.5. This goes out, this goes out. 2 minus root 2 is how much? 2 minus 1.4. I repeat, so it is 2 minus 1.4, which is between 0.5 and 0.6. And root 6 minus 2 will become how much? Root 6 is 2.4. So it's 2.4 minus 2, which is 0.4, which is the closest answer that we are looking at. So without doing much, we got the answer. All of you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Bhushan, you understood?
Yes, sir.
Sean, Amisha, you both of you understood, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm saying we found the approximate answer. The approximate answer will be less than 1 by 2, close to 1 by 2, but less than 1.2. There's only one option which is fitting into the range. Other options are very far off. So we are marking option number 1. Okay. Next question, if you can solve, please see. Check the next question if you can solve. Go on. If you can solve this question, it's quite easy. This is a question of the content on replacement. Come on, if you can solve this question. Let's say I'm giving you a separate case. There's a bottle of wine which has 100 ml of pure concentration of wine. If 10 ml of wine has been taken out and 10 ml of water has been replaced, what is going to be the concentration of wine in the resultant mixture? Yes, it's 90, right? How did you get such 100 minus 10 divided by 100, which is nothing but final value, the initial value, minus the replaced value upon the initial value. So if you want a generic expression of whatever is going to happen now is, from the initial amount, whatever has been replaced, you need to divide by the initial amount. And the process depending on the number of times, I repeat, the process depending on the number of times it is going ahead, I repeat, the process depending on the number of times it is going ahead, you take the power of n. So in this question, this is 21 minus 9 divided by 21. I repeat, this is 21 minus 9 divided by 21. But the process has been repeated how many times? It has been repeated 3 times. So the answer for you would be how much? 12 upon 21 by 3, raised to 3. Now can you solve this part, Bhushan and Amisha? Yes or no? So it's 4 by 7. 4 cube is 64 divided by 343. Bhushan, what answer will you get? Yes, Bhushan. Bhushan, you understood? So 34.3 will be 10%. Double of this will be 68.6. 64 is slightly close to 20 but less than 20. So the answer would be 18. Is this clear to all? Okay. Oh, this is a good question which I can give you on time and work. I'll give you a minute to think and reconsider what the question is about because it is slightly lengthy, right? So I'll give you a minute to understand what the process is happening. Some of you will misconstrue this to be a Fibonacci series, but to give you a hint, it is not a Fibonacci series. Read the question well for a minute and try to solve, and then we'll take it live. I hope you guys have read the question. You guys understood what the question is about? It says Mrs. A weaves the cloth in a day and Mrs. B unweaves it in the night. For Mrs. A, the work on any day, I repeat, for Mrs. A, work on any day is equal to the total work done by her till the previous days. Till the previous days. For example, on the third day, work done by Mrs. A is equal to the work done by her on day 1 and day 2. Mrs. A and Mrs. B started the work on day 1. I repeat. I repeat. Mrs. A and Mrs. B started the work on day 1 with the same efficiency. With the same efficiency. Also, Mrs. B can complete the work, so it has been said the efficiency is still the same initially. Mrs. B can complete the work in 8 days, working with the same days efficiency on all the days. In how many days will the weaving of the cloth be completed? So one is a positive worker and the second is a negative worker. That's what we know. So we have got A, we have got B, we have got day 1, we have got day 2, we have got day 3, we have got day 4. Going on, so many days are there. Okay. It has been said A and B, the efficiency is same, which is they take 8 days to complete the work, whether to weave or to unweave. If they take 8 days in one day, 1/8 of the work will be done. And 1 by 8 is 12.5 percentage. I repeat, 1 by 8 is 12.5 percentage of the work. Whether positive or negative, that depends on who is doing it. So what is the percentage of work done by A on day 1? Tell me. A on day 1 will be 12.5 percentage. What about B? B will be minus 12.5. B will be minus 12.5. What is plus 12.5 minus 12.5? It is 0. So we can say on day 1, 0 work has been done cumulatively. On day 2, what amount of work will be done by A on day 1? Tell me what amount of what percentage of work will be done. Tell me what percentage of work will be done by A on day 2. Both of you, please say. So it has been said the amount of work done on any given day is the sum of total work done till the previous day. So on day 2, the previous day was day 1. So even on day 2, only 12.5 percentage of the work will be done and B is constant, which is minus 12.5. So we can say even on day 2, I repeat, even on day 2, total amount of work done will be 0 percentage. What is happening on day 3? On day 3, the sum of day 1 and day 2 is plus 25. So on day 3, plus 25 percentage of the work has been done. What about B? B is doing minus 12.5 percentage. So we can say on day 3, plus 12.5 percentage of the work has been done. On day 3, plus 12.5 percentage of the work has been done. Right? What about day 4? On day 4, percentage of work done by A is 25 plus 12.5 plus 12.5, which is 50 percentage. And B is minus 12.5 percentage. What is 50 minus 12.5? It is 37.5 percentage of work which is being completed on day 3. On day 4. What about day 5? On day 5, A can do how much? 50 plus 25 plus 12.5 plus 12.5, which is 100 percentage. But some of you will misconstrued that the total number of days which will be taken effectively will be 5 days. Though the answer is not 5. I repeat, the answer is not 5. The answer is not 5. Why? Because what is the amount of done work which has already been done? I repeat, the amount of work which has already been done is 37.5 plus 12.5, which is 50 percentage, which is 50 percentage work has been done. So though I can complete 100 percentage, but what is supposed to be done? Only 50 percentage is to be done. So I'll take only half of the given day. So 4 plus 1 by 2, I'll take 4.5 days to complete the work. Is this clear, Amish and Bhushan? Why it's going to be 5 by 7? In 4 days, you can see plus 50 percentage of the work has been done cumulatively using both, right? A and B. On 5th day, A can do the sum of whole the work which has been done from day 1 to day 4. 12.5, 12.5, 25 and 50 is 100%. So what is being told to you? So what is being told to you on day 5, A can complete 100% of the work. I repeat, on day 5, A can complete 100% of the work, right? But on day 5, A can complete 100% of the work, but it wants to complete only 50%. So it's going to take only half of the given day on day 5. Half of the given day on day 5. Clear? All right. Okay, this is a good question on time, speed, and distance, which is again an IQ based question. It's not a mathematical question. So I'll give you a minute to think, comprehend, read the question, and see if you can solve it with the answer. Okay, Amisha and Bhushan, you guys understood the question? What is the question about? So they are saying there are two towns, A and B. There are two towns, A and B. Car A and car 2, or car 1 and car 2, start traveling from A to B respectively towards each other. So A is coming from here, and car 2 is coming from here. A started at 7 a.m. and car 2 started at 8 p.m. It is 8 a.m. My bad. There's a difference of 1 hour which is being told to you. After meeting at point C, wherever they will meet, the ratio of speed of 1 and 2, car 1 and car 2, it has been said the ratio of speed is something about 1:2. So though B's car 2 starting 1 hour late, obviously it's going to cover some portion of bigger distance than A. So let's assume this is from point C where they meet. Okay. And it has been said after meeting at C, they both return to their starting position. So B comes from here A comes from here, and post then it again goes and comes back. The A also goes and comes back. In order to meet car 1 for the second time, when would it meet for the second time? Obviously, in the second meeting or in the second journey, only they will meet for the second time. Because the first meeting itself is happening on C, right? It has been said car 2 halts for 2 hours, or car 2 halts for some time. Car 2, why car 2 is faster? Because the ratio of speed is 1:2. So car 2 will have to wait for some time. The question is, for how much time will it halt? The actual speed, the time, the distance is not being given to you. Nothing has been given to you. Bhushan is saying it's going to be 2 hours. Let's see if it is 2 hours or something more, right? Let's assume they meet at 6, the point C. And let's assume they meet at 10 a.m. While coming from A, car 1 will take 3 hours and car 2 will take only 2 hours. So if I assume car 2 takes only Y hours, if I assume to come and meet at the meeting point, car 2 will take Y hours, it's but obvious that car 1 will take 1 hour more. It's but obvious. So I gave an example of 10, but instead of that, a very generic example which I can give you is y plus 1. In y and y plus 1 are A is coming till here and B is coming till here. Now if car 2 has to go back and come back, what is the amount of time which it's going to take? While completing the journey once, it took y hours. So going back and coming back will take 2 times of time. Similarly, A also going back and coming back will take 2 hours of time, right? So the time taken by A will be 2y plus 2 hours, and B is taking only 2 hours. And that's why B will reach faster. But even if B reaches faster, how much more time do they have to wait? Or B would have to wait. It's visible to you. It has to wait for 2 hours more, because A will take 2 hours plus 2 or 2y plus 2 hours to come and meet at point C. Is this clear? Is this clear, Misha? That's why I said it's a logical question, not a mathematical question. Let's solve this question. Avni bought a yellow sari, a green sari, and a red sari. I repeat. Avni bought a yellow sari, green sari, and a red sari at equal cost, and sold all the three. To Panna at 20% profit, 10% loss, and 30% profit. 20% profit, 10% loss, and 30% profit respectively. Panna sold these three saris to Harsha. I repeat. Panna sold these three saris to Harsha at 20% profit, 30% profit, and 20% loss respectively. By what percentage did the total cost of three saris will change when Harsha bought compared to the cost of what Avni had bought? We are talking about Avni who bought three saris, which is a yellow sari, a green sari, and a red sari. It's sold to Panna and it has been said the cost price initially is same. So let's assume cost of each is 100 and the total cost is 300. While selling it to Panna, it has been told to you that they sell it at respective 20% profit, 10% loss, and here 20% loss. So it has been sold to Panna for 120 rupees, 90 rupees, and 80 rupees. Now comes Panna to Harsha. Panna to Harsha is at respective 20% profit, 30% profit, and this is 20% loss. So 120 पे अगर 20% प्रॉफिट होगा तो ये हो जाएगा 144. 90 पे 30% प्रॉफिट दे दोगे तो ये हो जाएगा 117. और 80 पे अगर तुम 60% प्रॉफिट दे दोगे तो कितना हो जाएगा? 20% लॉस दोगे तो it will be 454. What is the sum of 144 plus 117 plus 64? What is going to be the sum of this?
Sir, the red sari sold to the Panna is 30% profit, sir.
20, 10 loss, and 30. My bad. This is 30% profit. This will be 130. My bad. 130 by 20% discount. You know. So this will be 130 minus 26. Right? Bhushan?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what is going to be the selling price for red sari in the end? Come on. It's simple. 130 minus 26. 104. If you can take the sum of this, Amisha, if you can take the sum of this, how much it is coming up? The total price in the end is 365, right? So 100 rupees of cost price has been sold for 365 rupees of the selling price. The question is find a profit percentage. It is 65 upon 300. 10% is 30. Double of it will be 20. Slightly more, you will mark 21.6 to be the final answer. Is this clear? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
All right then. On this note, I'll take a leave for today's class. I'll see you tomorrow at 1:30 with a logical reasoning class. I would request and urge you to practice a lot of arithmetic questions which we have solved till now. We have seen questions and content of geometry, modern math, number system, and arithmetic, the basic questions. Make sure please revise the content before we meet next time so that we can solve different level questions ahead. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Misha.